Now we have more on the surprise decision to drop charges in the local case of a mother accused of telling her young son to shoot a man. Fox 32 legal analyst Karen Conti is here to kind of help sort things out. And Karen, we were all shocked by this story last week because just the details of it are horrifying. Based on the evidence, now we're hearing this decision to drop charges. It's even more surprising. Can you even guess why the state's attorney might be moving in this direction?
Something that was reported initially must not be true. The reporting that we got, which I think was directly from the police department, was that the mother was texting the son to come in and to confront this guy that she had this altercation with, and that she was actively encouraging her son to take out his gun and shoot. And even after the shooting was done, she was encouraging him or trying to get the gun to shoot a witness who had actually watched the whole thing. So that report, that must not all be true, because otherwise, why in the world would charges be dropped?
I mean, one piece of speculation is the claim of self-defense. Could that be at play here, the mom and son claiming self-defense in this situation?
I don't really see that here, Anthony. And the reason is that you can only use defense of others if the person is being threatened with force, with death or deadly bodily force. And although punching, the guy was punching the mother, that's not a good thing, but that's not deadly force. It's not a knife. It's not a gun. So the kid would not have had the right to pull out a gun and shoot. And the kid would not have had a right to follow the victim outside and shoot him once again in the back, which is what supposedly happened. So a defense here of self-defense or defense of others just doesn't seem to be appropriate.
We're also working with a tight timeline because there has to be solid evidence, and then there's a timeline involved as well, where the state's attorney has to act to follow through with these charges. Can you kind of explain that?
Well, I mean, there's no real hard and fast rule here, but I mean, I think the public has an outcry here, and I think that when we saw those charges and we saw the allegations, it was pretty outrageous. I'm just hoping that Kim Foxx's office, just in the light of public disclosure, is going to make a statement as to why the charges were first brought and why they were dropped.
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question. Now, any thoughts if you were representing the victim's family here, which you would advise them?
Well, nothing's going to bring him back, but, a 14-year-old should not have a gun illegally, and the gun apparently was not legal. And if the mother at all was involved, obviously, they probably are a little angry that charges were dropped. But again, there's no recourse in something like this. It's just a disaster all over.
We'll wait and see if the state's attorney's office releases a statement. As you mentioned, Karen Conti, thank you very much for your time this afternoon.